Whoa! Sab Shed! Sab's Shed.
Hello, everybody. This is Tron-Sabbaton once again from inside the machine, and we're going to do the next segment of trying to make a virtual Turk 3D head. So it's a follow-on episode. What I'm going to do, first of all, is just remind us where we are. So, what have we done so far? I have taken a load of photographs of my Turk head minus moustache, 50 photographs, all the way around it. Then we did a bit of photogrammetry in 3D Zephyr software, and from those 50 photos we generated our 3D model and made an STL file. Not an STL file, sorry, an obj file, obj file, .obj. And that was in Zephyr. So I've used two bits of software. One is the 3D Zephyr, and of course we used GIMP to adjust the contrast a little bit on the photos. So I suppose this is the third installment, or fourth if you include the actual photography. So we've done the photogrammetry, and now what we're going to do is work on editing the actual mesh that we've done in Zephyr. So we're going to use this next bit of software called Mesh Mixer. Here we are in Mesh Mixer. We're going to import the model that we've made so far. Now that's the one where we should be, and yeah, this is the one we made last time, the obj model. So we're going to click on that, and it's importing it, and we'll see what it looks like. Let's have a look. Come on, we'll do it bit by bit anyway. There it is. There he is. He's still got the hole in the top, and it looks all right. But remember, he's a mesh. He's not a solid object. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to zoom out and see just how big or small he is. Now, if you can make out the stage that he's sitting on, this stage here is about I think it's it's 21 centimeters by 21 centimeters. This is going to be roughly the size of the 3D printer that I'm hopefully going to be using. So you can see that it's tiny. So the first thing we've got to do is scale it up to life size. So we'll go back in again. Actually, that'll do. So you can see how tiny he is. So we need to make him life size. Now, how we do that? Well, there's a little trick that I picked up. I got all my bits and bobs from YouTube videos and tutorials and manuals that I've read. So the quickest way that I found, again by looking at these tutorials, is to generate a little reference object. So I'm going to do that. If you see down here on the left of Mesh Mixer, you've got loads of options. The first thing I'm going to do is to go to the Mesh Mix, little man in the moon thing up here. Click on that. You got all these shapes, all sorts of things you can get. I just want a cube. See a little cube there. So I'm going to go there, click and drag onto my screen. Doink! And we've got a little cube there. You see, with all these moving about pointers. So we should be able to move him around. There he is. He's quite tiny as well, isn't he? There he is. There's our cube, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to change the size. Now I've measured my face, the distance between the middle of my pupil of my left eye to the middle of the pupil of my right eye, across the bridge of my nose, and that distance is about 65 millimeters. So over here we've got some options for our cube, and these are the dimensions of the cube, X, Y, Z, and it's on uniform scaling. So if I change one, remember it's a regular cube, the rest should be the same. So if I double click on that, that's it. I change it to 65 mils and press return, and they see they've all changed to 65 mils, regular cube, and our big cube has got much bigger, hasn't it? So let's see if we can zoom out, just using the mouse wheel to zoom out. There we go, that'll do for now. And I'm going to move this guy so we can see how big he is. Whee! There we are. Just for now, there he is. So in comparison to our Turk head, this seems massive. So we've got to scale this guy up. Anyway, that's our reference object. The next thing we're going to do is accept the rescaling we've done on the cube. So we say that's great. Now I need to view a thing called a browser window. So I'm going to go to view up here. And I'm going to try and find, where is it? I think it's up here. Show objects browser. That's the one we want. There it is, just a little window. We've got two objects on our stage, 3D print stage, cube and head. I'm just going to change the name of that guy because we know that that's the head, and that one, mesh SO10, is the cube. So if I just double click on that, I can change the name. So I'll just write down cube, enter. Right, but we want to change the head, so I'm going to go to there, and that becomes highlight, and now whatever we do is centered on the head. I want to change the scale of that, so I go over now that's highlight over there. Go over here again, and we want to go down, I think, to, again, I'm learning as I go. I then go to edit and transform. There you go, and we've got our moving about rescaling or not rescaling. These are navigation bars, but in the middle we've got a little, see that white cube there? If I go in a bit, anyway, that's where, if you click and hold on that little white cube in the middle and then move it, you can see the head starting to get bigger. And then I'll do that again, click, drag, it's getting bigger. We need to make it quite a lot bigger because remember the cube that we've made measures the distance between my two pupils, or the Turk's pupils, so we're going to make him very big there, like that. Now we can zoom out with my wheel. It's quite a big file, so it might be a bit laggy. Come on, we need to do this a little bit. Talk amongst yourselves. May as well come out. There you go. There it is. Alright. Oh yes. Thank you. There. Now we've made him too big, haven't we? A little bit too big. So I'm going to make him a little bit smaller. See where he is. See, that might be right. No, go back to the cube. Click on the cube. Oh no, we have to. Did I do it? Yes. No, that's okay. Click on the cube. I want to move that about now. So edit and transform again. And now I want to go move the cube so I'm sort of in the middle of the eyes. We can see it's not big enough. Let's see if I can go at the top. Yeah, so we have to make the head a little bigger again. Okay. Edit, transform again. Go back to a little cube in the middle. Right, I'll just move. Yeah. Okay. Make it bigger. Let's try that. Hang on. Quite tricky, isn't it? I made it too big again, I think. I made it too big again. You can fiddle around. Smeag. Hard to see. I don't know. I'm playing around. Keep going. Perhaps I was a bit too big then. Perhaps that's a better way to do it. Right, go back to cube. So you just move it around. Go back to cube. Edit, transform. We've got to get this first bit right. It's very difficult to see what I'm doing. How's that? That looks in the middle on that side. That looks sort of okay. What do you think? Alright. Let's just another look. So you get the idea. I think that's, do you think that's okay? I think that's alright. We'll put him back in the eye. That's probably the better way to do it. That's sort of in the middle, I think, and that's sort of in the middle. Let's go with that for now. Okay, so let's say, yeah, okay, good. Go back to shaved head. Right, I want to move the head now so the whole thing is as much on the stage, the build area, as possible. How do I move? How do I move that way? Oh, let's get it. Move it down a bit. It's quite big. Come on. I will do this in stages. There you go. So it's quite a big model, but we're going to cut it. So obviously it'd be far too big for this build area. You can see the XYZ. You know, the size we've got to play with. Anyway, we're going to move it. If I go to edit transform again, there you go. Now I want to move it up to about there. I want to get it. I'm going to cut this neck off. I believe. Yeah. Okay. In fact, before I do any of that, I'm going to. Oh, no, I can do that later. Yeah, that should be okay. About there, I reckon. That's sort of. It doesn't really matter just now, but we're going to be moving it and cutting it anyway. So that looks okay to me for now. And just accepting that. Accept. Go back to the cube. One more time with this guy. Up you get. Let's just try the measurement thing again. That looks pretty good-ish. Yeah. Sort of there, isn't it? I think that's as near as damn it. Okay, good. Right. So we'll accept that. So that's the cube's job done, so we can delete the cube. Just accept it. And just press delete. Okay, click on that. There it is. Alrighty. So there we are. That's done like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to file and save this mesh mixer format for now. I'm going to call it, what should we call it? We'll stay with the shaved Turk head model. I'm going to save this as unedited or original shaved Turk head model. I'll just put it on desktop for now. Mesh mixer format. That will do. Go. Okay. That's it. So we've done that. We've scaled it up to life size. And we'll end that episode just. And we're back in the room. Okie dokie. Right. So having scaled up the old Turk mesh here, we've now got to try and fix these ear holes. Of course, there's this obvious hole in the top to do, but all around this mesh there's probably little imperfections and all sorts of things that we need to sort of try and repair. Right, I've been playing around for the last day or so just practicing this, and I've found out there's a lot of what they call internal boundary issues, which means that there's a lot of gappage between various boundary lines inside the model, and I suspect they're these sort of, they might be from these sort of grooves. So I've got to try and close those cracks, if you like, at least for the time being, because if I don't, it will not allow me to generate a solid model, because it just sees gaps everywhere and it deletes everything. So that's what I'm going to do before I do anything else. And this is just through pure experimentation that I found this and reading manuals, so you can do the same. And this is free as well, this mesh mixer, so you know, find it, download it, and try it for yourself. So okay, what I'm going to do is go over here. What I'm going to do is click on edit, and then up here there is a thing called close cracks. So that's what I'm going to click on, and it's doing something even though there's no progress bar, and it won't be visible of what it's done, but it has done something, so it's come out of that. So it's kind of finished it, escape and come out of that. So we've closed the cracks, the hole's still there, but these internal boundary issues should now be fixed. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is analyze the mesh and ask the software to see if there are any little holes around that we can then attend to. So we go over here again and we hit analysis, and then over here we go up to inspector and click on that. And then what it's saying is it's come up and it's analyzed the model, and it's given me all these little, there's a red, there's a blue, and there's a sort of magenta blob and an arrow pointing to an area, and all these little areas are telling me where there are various inconsistencies. Now the red ones are straight holes, so it's identified the major hole at the top here. And what else? I'm trying to get this the right way around. Let's think about this for a minute. I think the blue ones are what they call bow tie holes, which means where instead of being a round circle like this, what I'm making here with the mouse, straight hole, a bow tie hole is a kind of like a figure 8 on my Sabbaton sigil. You see that? So it looks like a bow tie or a number 8 on its side. So we've got essentially 2 holes. This is where the triangles that make up this mesh are connected on I think more than 3 sides. So it identifies this as an issue, and so it would delete that and make it a main hole, I think. And then the other one, these magenta ones, are saying that it's found something that they refer to as an island, which is, I think, the simple way of putting it, which I think means that there's a sort of island of triangles surrounded by a gap. And in those instances, I think, again, they would, I think, delete the island and then close it off. I may be wrong there, but there are 3 different types. So after we've done that, we can look to how we fix it. Over here, it says, it's asking you, well, okay, we found all these things here. How do you want to fix them? And it's asking you can do a flat fill, which is a, straight, complete fill, as I understand it. And then you can have a minimal fill or a smooth fill. I think there are different quality levels. So I think for this one, we're going to go for a smooth fill, because I haven't done it before. So I'm just going to do it and see what happens. So let's auto repair all. There is another adjustment here, which is how precise it goes about its analyzing process. But we'll stay with the default. So auto repair all. Begin, and it's doing something. I think. Is it doing it? Let's try it again. Do it. There we are. So it's going through its process, trying defect 6 of 15. So it goes through this kind of process, and we're going to do this process twice just to make sure. That's what I read anyway. Oh, now it's done something here. Something funny. So I don't like that. So I'm going to go to actions and undo. It's put a big hump on his head for some reason. Undo back. Right, there we are. We don't like that. Okay, so we'll go back to inspector. Inspector. There it is. It's done its thing again. This time we'll do a flat fill. So I don't like the soft fill, and we'll try that again. Auto repair all. Now it's doing it again, and hopefully it will seal all the gaps. Still not a solid object, remember, it's just a mesh, which is just dots, lines and triangles, and then all those triangles connected up together. So think of it like a sort of old-fashioned chicken wire model that you might make, if you were going to make a bit of stage scenery. You would sometimes use chicken wire to make things like trees and stuff. So there we go. It's a bit rudimentary, but it will suit our purposes. Okay, so it's done a flat fill on there. It's also done one on the bottom. It's still not solid though. So anyway, I'm going to say, yeah, that's okay. Done. So there we have repaired the cracks, and we've done a process of analysing the mesh, and we've repaired the holes using plain fill. I'm going to do that one more time. As I said, I heard that it's a good idea to do it twice, so we'll just do that one more time. But it hasn't identified any other problems, so there's no need to do it. Okay, as long as I've checked. So yeah. I'll stop this little segment there. Back on the factory floor, it's now time to make this guy solid. How do we do that? Changing the mesh into a solid. We go over to edit, I think, and then there should be make solid. So we click on that, and we should get some options. So it's done a rough making solid, which is pretty rough, but I'm going to turn it up a bit. So I'm going to go to my options over here. I'm going to go from solid type. I'm going to go to accurate, and I'm going to put these guys on the maximum solid accuracy and mesh density. The rest I'm going to leave as is because I don't really understand what they do. And then what we have to do is we just hit update and it will recompute. It might take a little while to do. Let's see if it works. And then I think once we've done this, I think we're going to do it again and take all the color off. I'm just doing it this way just to hopefully illustrate the what it looks like with the color. But we don't actually need the color anymore. It looks nice, but we don't actually need it. So to make the next stage easier to do, we're going to get rid of the color. So when I come to try and sculpt it, it might be a little easier to work out where I need to make various cuts. But as you can see, it does take a little bit of time. Oh, now the progress bar is toying with us a bit. It's going, oh, no, no, oh, here we are. Oh, now it's going on to the next thing. So it's got quite a lot of work to do. We'll leave it there and I'll bring you back. There it is in a minute. There it is. There's the finished solid body. So this at the moment is solid all the way through. Okay. And it looks okay, doesn't it? Not too bad. But I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to take all the colour out. So there it is. It looks lovely. And now it won't look so lovely, but we'll see the shapes a little clearer, I think. So all I'm going to do is go over to Colour, Transfer Mode, drop down. The automatic is the default for colour, let's say. I'm going to go No Colours. I'm going to leave that exactly the same, just update it. And it's going to do it all over again. So there we go. I went to see Star Wars last night with my sister and my brother. You know, The Last Jedi. I was really excited to go and see it. Really, really excited. I love Star Wars, but I've got to say I was really disappointed when I came back. Really disappointed. I won't say why, spoilers and all that, but I don't know. It just didn't work for me. It's just another action film dressed up to look like Star Wars. But hey ho, never mind. It's only a movie. Huh. Oh, come on, Mesh. Da, 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 da. I tell you one thing that was really good. Part of the music, you know, rehashed from the original Star Wars. Well, I say A New Hope, you know, episode 4. I love that bit. I think it's called TIE Fighter Battle. Anyway, they used that that piece of music, which goes dum 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 da 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 dum 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 da dum 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 da 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 da. It's brilliant. Of course, there's a great Family Guy. You know, remember Blue Harvest when Family Guy do their version of A New Hope, and of course Peter Griffin is doing it. Just dum 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 nah 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 nah. Brilliant. Anyway, that was a good bit. Mark Hamill was excellent, I thought. Chewbacca was good. R2-D2 was good, and Carrie Fisher was lovely. Apart from that, everything else I didn't like. Anyway, never mind. Right, there we go. There's our fella. We've made him solid. We've taken all the colour out. So I'm just going to accept that. I'm going to accept it. Accept. Come on. Anyway, I thought I've accepted it. Yeah. Oh, it's doing something. It's going round and round. There we are. It took a little time to work. This guy I can get rid of. Go away. There we are. That's the one I want. So this is all solid. Right, on to the next job. I've just zoomed in a bit here to see his lordship. There's a few things I just want to change. Edit this now solid model using the sculpt tools. See these areas here on the where the actual eyebrows were, here and here, and the moustache, where I cut the actual hair off the model before taking its photo. You know, it's quite uneven and little bits coming out, and I want to try and make things a little bit easier for the 3D printer when it comes. And I'm going to get rid of these. So I want to smooth these edges off a bit, because I am going to attach on the 3D printed head some real hair or some crepe wool. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going over here and going over to the sculpt tool, and I'm going to use the brushes. You can see up here there are two options, volume and surface. Now I believe if we go over to surface, I'm clicking on this button, and then I'm going to brushes. I'm looking for a smooth. There we are. Oops. Shrink smooth is the one I want to try. Click on that. I'm going to make the strength 100%, which is already on, and I'm going to make the size of the brush as big as I can. The rest I'll leave the same. It's quite a big model, so the brush size is relatively small, but I can afford to be a little bit, I don't have to be as accurate, because this is going to have hair on it, okay? But I do want to get rid of some of these humps and bumps, which are sort of not really needed. That one's not too bad. It's not too bad. This one here, yeah, let's get rid of a few bits here and there. Okay, I don't want to do too much, just a little bit here and there. What else? Yeah, that's okay. Okay, maybe a bit there. You can see how it's smoothing out. Can't zoom anymore. Zoom in anymore. That'll do. There's also these bits here around the moustache area, so I'm going to try and do that as well. Just smooth that a little bit. Don't want to go too mad. Get rid of some of these imperfections. Come on, back you come. Little blobs there. Little blob there, maybe. Well, how you doing? How you doing? Okay. Just smooth this guy over a bit. Okay, there you go. I take too much away. This is smooth and reduce, I think it's called. Whatever it is. So I think it's pushing it down, you know, like if you're pushing a bit of plasticine down. Anyway, so let's get rid of a few of those blobs. Yeah. Like that. What about this guy? Yeah, let's take a few of these guys, smooth it out a little bit. Maybe take it up there a bit. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I quite like a lot of these imperfections, but these guys that won't be seen, I've gone a bit too far there. We can get rid of, right? Because of course I'm hoping that when I've painted the actual model, it's going to look like wood, like my original plaster model. So there we go. I don't want to do too much. There you go. I think that's okay. A little bit there, maybe. Is that okay? Is that acceptable? Bit there, perhaps. Bit there. There. I think I'm going to stop there. I don't want to do too much. Any more little sticky outy blobs? I can smooth that down. Just have a quick look. That'll do. Okay. Oh, there's a blob on the nozzle. I don't know why it's there. I don't like that. There you go. Boink. It's gone. It's gone. Okay, cool. That'll do, I reckons. Right, stop doing it now. Step away. Right, going back to brushes now. And now what I want to do is find what I want to do. What do we need? We need a different sort of brush. Pinch, that's it. Is there a pinch on here? Draw. No, it'll be in volume. So we're going up to here. Change it from surface to volume brushes. It's going to do that. Let's see if it gives us. Yeah, that's it. Pinch. Boink. Again, we're sticking at the top. Strength and size. We'll leave depth there for the moment. Now you can see some of the lines that are on the original model haven't come out in the photogrammetry process, so I'm going to help them along the way. So hopefully I'm just going to click and draw and see how we're doing with that. So it's sort of pinching the surfaces together a bit and giving me better lines. To this one there. You see, so originally I wasn't going to do this, if you remember. I was going to do it with a Dremel, but I found that this is quite good, I think. So I'm going to have a go at this just to save me a bit of work further on. So you can go over it again, the same line, and it will make it deeper, just like as if you were doing it in real life with a knife or something like that, or a file. So that's quite good, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead. I hate that phrase. And continue, and I will show you the results in a minute. Ta-da!
Whoa! Sab Shed! Sab's Shed.